within like a day or two, my manager, who I hated, he was like an angry bowling ball with arms and legs, like
Lowe's.
bitter, sad, just, he was the worst. We're walking 11 o'clock at night, shutting the store down. And he would have to clean, like I would clean my section and then they check it. We're walking through and he would always find something, right? And that's not right.
Right.
You know? And so we're walking through and he goes, hey, and I didn't tell anyone that I was in ministry. Like, I just,
Never came up.
no, and I wouldn't bring it. Wait, where are you from? I was like, oh, I did this and that, whatever. He goes, hey, I got a question for you. He goes, what do you know about dreams? And I was like, yeah, I know something about dreams. He's like, I had this crazy dream when I was a kid, and I want to tell it to you.
He remembered a dream from his childhood. Okay.
And he's like, I want to tell you this dream. And I go for it. He said, now we were in North Carolina. A big church is like 50 people. Okay.
50.
Yeah, like, and there's like hundreds of churches,
Whoa.
right? Like just teeny little Baptist churches all
Yeah,
spread
yeah.
out. It's just hills,
Yeah.
it's middle of nowhere. And I gotta go faster. But
No, you're
please.
good, you're
We
good.
need that. We want
is
that.
what we want.
Yeah. We just go for it.
so he goes, here was my dream. He said, do you know anything about interpreting dreams? And I said, yeah, I'm pretty good at it. He goes, here's the dream. I was sleeping and I saw this vision of me standing in front of 200 people in a church and I was preaching. And that was the dream.
Him saying this, like,
When he was
that
a
person.
kid, when he was a kid, like
Okay.
15. And he goes, what do you think it means? Right? Like,
Well-
you don't have to have half a cat's brain to figure that one out.
It's
I think you're
not
gonna move
hard,
to
man.
Home
Yeah,
Depot.
Right.
not that hard.
Right? And,
hard, manager.
and I said, dude, you're called to be a preacher. I said, what are you doing here? He goes, I went to my pastor and I told him the dream. And the pastor had like 30 people in his church. He goes, you're full of pride. God would never use you like that. That's not God. That's the enemy. And he starts tearing up. I said, dude, I'm going to pray for you. That's not pride. You weren't full of pride. He was full of pride. I said, you have a call to manage and lead people. And I like start prophesying over this guy.
And this is your boss. So you
This is
didn't
my
like-
boss that I
Bitter guy.
hated. Within
Hated.
the next day, I give him this word, he gets touched. The next day, he calls me into his office. He's like, listen, I want you to come and pray over the store before your shift. And I was like, sure. Start doing that. 2 days later, they're like,
Amazing.
we want to make you, we want to put you in management leadership training. Boom. I'm like, I guess I'm going to do that. God, you're opening up doors.
Right.
Another crazy thing happened, which I don't have time to go into, but this woman who was like, she used to hit on me, like, tells me this crazy story. And it's basically like, it was basically like she would end up worshiping at night. And she didn't know she was worshiping. And it's just like, it was like
Crazy
within
thing.
a week, bum, 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 bum. So I'm like, I'm going to go down the managerial track. They're like, you're going to make money. You're going to do incredible. I was like, giddy up. Let's go, Jesus. A week later, I get a phone call. And it's Randy Clark.
Once more.
Yeah.
It's like a good movie.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
It's Randy.
Jojo's excited, guys.
Okay, so you went from you get the
The 2 phone calls that asking you if you had the
If Randy calls
if
you back.
Randy
yeah.
calls you. Yeah.
but in that time when the guys at this prophet's calling you, has Randy called you? Had he called you or no?
No, that's
This
the
is
fact.
that call. This is after
Yeah.
those 2 calls.
Yeah.
You're in the manager
This
process.
question was like a prophecy to him.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like he was a prophet and he's somebody that I trusted.
Yeah.
Been a
He just
huge part of my life.
All right.
And he called me up twice and asked me the questions. And I was like, no, and I never go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Randy calls me and he says, Will, I hurt my back. And he did. He went through a really bad season with his back. He says, I can't go. You're my son. I need you to go in my place. And so I put the managerial thing on hold and I started traveling. I started making more money doing a weekend than I was like almost in a month. Left Lowe's, started traveling again for Randy, started picking up the itinerant again a little bit. And then just a few months into that, he says, listen, I've watched, I've heard how you've been ministering. It's been so powerful because I was broken, you know, like I was ministering like out of a place.
Bro, that's the best place sometimes when you're like, you're so real to God.
Yeah.
You're like so vulnerable. You're like, God, it's not me. I need you. And sometimes I feel like for me, when I'm like the worst days, I'm like, God, I really know it's not about me,
Yeah.
you know? So when it's like the Lord's like, okay, I can come through. I can do it. Like, I'm free to do it. So
Yeah,
that's-
and when you come, like, all right, I don't know if you want to continue this story, but when you come back to Iris, like in that point to now, like become like the CEO of like Iris and all this stuff. I know it's a huge
So
story.
no,
but,
so no, I'll
we
do
can-
it fast. So Randy
No, we
says,
can-
No, we have
to.
time.
Really do have time.
We
okay.
have
have
time.
So Randy says, I want you to come back to Global.
Right.
Like I want you to move back, and you're one of the only sons I have that has like the favor. You have my heart, and I want to bring you in and eventually maybe pass Global Awakening on to you. So I went from working at Lowe's
That's
to being
insane.
offered.
to receive all the ministry.
No, I mean, it wasn't like that. I don't want to say it like that, but like he was like, you're the
Right.
son of the house, and I want to bring you back in. So for the next 8 years, I come back to Global and just help build and continue to grow and minister. I did Furious Love, Darren Wilson's movie, right at that transition time as well. So next thing I know, I'm getting invitations all over the world again. I'm traveling 220
so
days
good.
a year, traveling around the globe, preaching, teaching, and then, but still, I would try to go back to Mozambique once a year and lead teams for Global Awakening. So I'm maintaining my relationship. I'm in the bush with Heidi with the Global Awakening team, and Heidi and Roland pull me off to the side in the bush, and they say, "Hey, we've been praying. We want to invite you onto the board of Iris Global." And I said, it would be my greatest honor. They said, we need a younger voice to speak in. I said, it would be my greatest honor. Like, I just remember weeping. And I came on the board for about a year or two. I forget exactly. Maybe it was a year. And I'm with Heidi. We're doing a conference together in Indonesia. And she came to me and I said, Heidi, if you ever need anything, like, just ask. Like, whatever you need, I'm here for you. Like, I love Iris and I love you. And she goes, will you leave Global Awakening and come and serve Iris? We really believe you're the one that's going to run and take Iris into the next season. And so I had a father, so I've ping-ponged back and forth from
Right.
Randy to Iris to Randy. And now I found myself calling Randy and saying, listen, I feel like this is it.
Thanks for everything, but
And Randy wept, and he said one of the most powerful things. He said, Will, the apostolic is open-handed.
whoa, that's and for a lot of people, they think it's opposite. I think it's
He says the apostolic. He said it would be.
Crazy.
Said it would be my greatest joy.
come on.
Insane.
He said it would be my greatest joy to send you to serve Iris. It was hard. It was hard for him. It was hard for me. But we both knew it. And so that was 8 years ago. And I've been running with the most amazing teams. And I hate that word leader because I'm not the leader of Iris. Jesus is the leader. And Heidi and Roland are the founders. I'm just one missionary that has a little bit more authority than the rest. And right now. And I don't look at what I do as leading Iris, even though I know I lead. I'm not trying to diminish that, but I get to serve God's favorite people and do whatever I can to see them go to the poor, the lost, the sick, the needy, and the broken. And so that's what I do now.